Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson with Learning Ramen. Today our lesson is about average. But how do we really make sense of the word average? In this lesson, we'll look at the mean, median, and mode, and what story they can tell us about our world's data. And speaking of world's data, we will going to start with our rice survey. So we have a business owner here who would like to sell rice, but first he would like to know what could be the typical standard weight of one pack of rice. So they survey 7 residents, and according to the survey, we have 2 people that would prefer to buy 4 kilograms, 3 people for 5 kilograms, and 2 people would like to buy 7 kilograms. So based on the information above, we can decide what could be the ideal standard weight for the rice bags. So kindly share your answer and share it with your class. Next, we have the problem of the day. Since we know already what will be the kilograms per rice bags. Now, the question or the next question is, how are we going to decide on the selling price of that rice bags? So, of course, he visits the nearby grocery stores and got their data on the rice prices. Based on the competitors' prices, we have the following numbers. Now, let's try to look at the mean, median, and mode of these numbers so that we can check or help the business owner decide what could be the ideal selling price. Let's go. So first, we're going to arrange these numbers from cheapest to the expensive one. So the cheapest are 16, next with 18, then we have the 21, followed by 22, 25, and 130. So now that we have arranged our data, we're going to transfer that to our graph or that plot on the left side. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit for us to clearly see the dot plot. So first, we have the 22. So that's beyond 20. Then we have 16. So 16 is around here. Then we have the 18 between 16 and 20. Then we have 21 between 20 and 22. Then we have another 18, then another 21, then 130, then we have 25. So around here. Then we have another 80. So as we can see, the collection of our data is compiled on the left side of our dot plot. And what does it mean for us? Or what does it mean for the business owner? So let's try to check the mean, median, and mode. Let's try to analyze that one. So we have the different lines here. We have the blue, green, and red. And the 130 is labeled as outlier. So when we say outlier, it is the kind of data that is very far from your set of data, and it has a big difference on it. So what is the implication of that one? You will going to know later. So first, for the mean, we have already arranged our data from 16 to 130, just like what we did earlier. Now, to calculate for the mean, it's very important to get the total of your numbers first. So we're going to use the calculator here, scientific calculator. And what is a good thing on this kind of platform is there is a built-in calculator already wherein you can solve right away. So we have 16, 18. So we are now getting the sum of our data, 130. So we have a total of 289. And that total, you need to divide it to the total number of sets or data you have. So we have, in a set, we have 9 data. So we divide it by 9. And as we can see, we have a mean of 32.1. So based from the dot plot, it represented by the red line. So we're going to change the color so that it will match. So this is what we call the mean. We'll just use the text. Our mean is equals to 32.1. Now, what is the meaning of this? What does it tell us? So 32.1 goes beyond the common prices that we have from 16 to 25. And also, we can notice that among the 9 stores, there are no store that sell their rice 32 dirhams. So what could be the meaning of this, or what could be the implication of this for the business owner? Okay, but before we can decide, let's try to give chance to the median. So the median is the middle number in our set of data. So let's try to copy this one. and check. Let's check what could be the middle number here. So it's very important that you need to arrange them. May it be least to greatest or greatest to least. At least you can see which one is the middle one. So we have 16 and 130. We can cancel that out. And we can keep doing that one until we arrive to the middle number, which is 21. So as you can see, the 21 is represented by a green line. So, so as we can see, the median is 21. It's within the range from 16 to 25. So median is more acceptable compared to the mean, which is 32.1. And how about the value of the mode? Okay, so let's check our mode here. So with the same data set, we're going to identify the mode of the following. So from 16 to 130, we can see that the mode is the most common number or the most frequent number that occurs in our data set, or so-called the most popular price. So as we can see, it's very easy to determine that the mode is represented by a blue line and three stores have the same price, which is 18. So we have our mode, which is equals to 18. Now that we can see the mean, median, and mode already, now we can clearly decide which of the following average we can use for the price of our rice packaging. All right, so let's try to move on to the next slide to see the clear picture of it. So based from this data plot, we have 32.1, median, which is 21, and mode is 18. So based from this one, what could be the fair price in this area, and which average would you use to give the most answer? And why does the mean not make sense in this kind of situation? And what do you think causes the mean to become 32.1? So to further investigate the reports of our selling price, let's try to remove the 130 or the outlier from the picture. So investigate what changes can be observed on the value of mean, median, and mode. So you may use the tags in the graph to write the value of the mean, median, and mode. So based from our answers earlier, we have the mean, median, and the mode. So based on this scenario, we can see that the mean will be different, maybe. The median will be different, maybe. And the mode, we can clearly see that it is still the same most common number, which is 18. So with or without an outlier, the mode is still the same. How about for the median? Let's try to figure out. The median is still the same. Let's try to check by listing our data. As we can see here, we can remove 16 until we reach the middle part, which is we have two numbers, 18 and 21. So to get the middle number out of 18 and 21, we need to add them together. So we have 18 plus 21 over 2 to get the middle number out of it. So again, with the use of your scientific calculator, we can get our answer. 39 divided by 2, and we get 19.5. So 19.5 is our median. How about for the mean? How are we going to get the mean? Again, we're going to add all together the data that we have. So we have a total of 159. 159 divided by how many data we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 data in total. So we have 19.87. So our mean is around 19.875. So based from this scenario, with or without the outlier, we can observe that the mode, okay, that the mode is still the same. Meanwhile, the median is affected from 21, it became 19.5. but the mean is the most affected one. From 32, it became 19.875, which we can see that the mean, median, and mode is very close to each other. So outlier is really a factor in your data set. So please be careful when dealing with your outlier, especially for the mean, median, and mode. And especially what could be the interpretation or the conclusion we can have if we have an outlier in our data. Okay, so in this kind of topic, we are not just calculating for the mean, median, and mode. We are also understanding what could be the implication or the conclusion that we could have based from those numbers. And how are we going to use those numbers if we have a different role in the society? So what if you are a customer or a business owner? How would that affect that the average price of rice in our area is 32 dirhams? Maybe you might think that, oh, rice is very expensive in the market. But the moment you go to your local store, it's just around 21 or 22 dirhams. Is the news report lying? Or is it just considering all the data, including the outlier? And as a business owner, how are you going to use the outlier or the mean, median, and mode concept to boost your sales? Okay, kindly leave your answer and share it with your class. I would like to hear from you. So if we're going to revisit the learning objectives that we have, can we identify the mean, median, and mode in the context of real-world examples? Or you can calculate the mean, median, and mode depending on the data set that we have. May it have an outlier or not? What could be the implication of that one? And you can evaluate how outliers change these values and justify which average is best for making a decision. So now it's time to own your learning. So we have different types of activity here, but the topic is about prices of shawarma, the favorite of everyone. So kindly answer that one. And you may share on the comment what is the activity that you answered and you get it right or not. Also, we have the tier 2, tier 3, and the red shade. For the red shade, you have a different possibilities of answer here. Just make sure you understood the concept of mode. Again, mode is the most frequent numbers in your data. Median, it is the middle number in your data. And in the mean, you need to get the total first before you divide it to the total number of items that you have. And there you have it. We just have learned the mean, median, and mode and how it affects our decision making based from the data around us. And again, that's all that we learned. So don't forget to evaluate yourself, whether you understand the mean or you're still confused, also the median and the mode. Okay? And anything specific you'd like us to know, kindly leave a comment below or share it with your classmates. Have a good day, everyone.